Assalamu alaikum. My dear students, I am Murad Chaudhary, Senior Lecturer, Department of Agricultural Studies, Milestone College, Uttara Dhaka. Welcome to my today's online lecture. Chapter 5, Section 4, Cultivation Method of Sunflower. Today in this lecture, first of all, I'll describe little bit about the concepts of well-yielding crops, then the characteristics of well seed crops, and the details cultivation method of sunflower. So what is the well yielding crops? Well yielding crops means the crop seed from which the edible oil is obtained are called oil seed crops. For example, mustard, soybean, sunflower, and groundnut. In our country, about 7.5 lakh hectare land cultivated oilseed crops in the country, and where oil produce 9.5 lakh metric ton. This one is very important for your MCQ as well, the definition as well. Sometimes in the creative question, knowledge based question, the question is like, what do you mean by well yielding crops or well seed crops? Then you have to write down crop seed from which the edible oil is obtained are called well seed crops, and this is the example. Now the characteristics of well seed crops. What will be the characteristics? First of all, definitely that edible oil percentage will be 20 to 48% in the oil crops or oil seed crops. And then flowers of these crops are very beautiful. For example, sunflower, mustard, and their life cycle will be 90 to at least 3 months. That means 90 to 110 days. And this is annual crops. That means you cultivate these crops and get the crops in this year as well, and from these crops you will not get more crops in future. That is why it's called annual crops. For example, mustard, sunflower. Most of the crops in rabi season, that means in winter crops, and the crops is like herb type plants, and most of the crops are light neutral, and some crops are sensitive in light. That means if there is not enough light, that time the crop will not produce properly, and size is small for most of the crops. For example, mustard, soybean, etc. So this is the characteristics of oilseed crops. Sometimes in your creative questions, for 2 marks, the questions like explain the characteristics of oilseed crops, then you have to write down these points, at least 5 to 6 points. So let's start the cultivation of sunflower or the modern cultivation method of sunflower. First of all, you have to understand the Bengali name, English name, and scientific name. So the Bengali name is Surjamukhi, and the scientific name is Helianthus anus, and we can get well from these seeds about 40 to 44%. And this scientific name is very important for your creative and MCQ questions. And here is some picture you can observe here. This is the sunflower field, and this is the individual sunflower, which is very beautiful. And you see in this picture, this is called radish. This is the petals, and this is in this disc. You can observe the seed of sunflower present here. So from that seed we can get the oil. Sunflower in the is second in oil crops. That means in our country we collect about mustard in the first, but sunflower in the second. It is cultivated for producing flowers and oil. That means in some country this one is producing for attraction. That means for flower purpose. In our country as well, not maximum producing for oil, but maximum office organization they cultivate these crops for beautification as a flower. It is not famous for producing oil in our country as well. Some places in our country like Rajshahi, Kustia, Nator, Pabna, Dinajpur, they cultivated this sunflower. And what type of soil you need for cultivation sunflower? We know that about loamy soil is the most appropriate soil for all type of crop production, but sunflower you can cultivate it in all type of soil, but loamy or sandy loam soil is best. This crop cannot tolerate waterlogged condition, and that means is if the field is waterlogged or water is stagnant, that time sunflower plant will be eh, die. And so we should select highland, that means highland, and irrigation facility and drainage facility should be properly. And shortage of, if there is any shortage of boron, zinc and magnesium in soil, then we should supply required amount of fertilizer in the soil. Climate, light neutral and light rainfall is required for this crop cultivation. And land should be, you have to we have to cultivate or tillage about 4 to 5 times, laddering about 4 to 5 times for level the land. And soil should be loosened, that means make sure all soil is friable and no clots will be present or gravels will be present on the soil. And proper irrigation and drainage should be system will be managed and removes all type of weeds from the field. Variety name, there will be sunrise, Jupiter, Kironi, Bari, Sunflower 2, Ayak, Pyrodomic. This is the variety name of sunflower. This name is very very important for your MCQ questions. And in Rabi season, about mid November to mid December, and Kharif one season mid April to mid May, and Kharif two season mid August to mid September, we can sowing the seed in the field. We can sowing the seed about two methods. We can use two method. One is broadcast method and the other one is line sowing method. But nowadays broadcast method is not so popular because there is some drawbacks for that method. So that is why maximum farmer use line sowing method. That means is very useful for irrigation, useful for pesticide application, no weed treatment. That is why they use line sowing method. Line to line distance is 50 centimeter and plant to plant distance will be 30 centimeter. If we sow the seeds by maintaining this distance, then fertilizer will be 8 to 10 kg per 1 hectare, and seeds will be 1.5 to a kg per biga. Seeds are required. But if the size of seed is small, that means hybrid, then 6 to 8 kg seeds are required. But we should also examine the germination capacity of seed before sowing. For seed treatment, because we stored or preserved the seed, that means from storage in this season and sowing in another next season. That is why you have to treat the seed before or planting the seed with use Provax 200 at the rate of 3 gram for 1 kg seed. That means for 1 kg seed we use 3 gram Provax 200 for seed treatment. Fertilizer application method. So what will be the fertilizer application method? This is the doses of fertilizer application method. That means urea 180 to 200 kg per hectare, TSP 160 to 180, muriate of potash 150 to 170, gypsum 150 to 170, zinc sulfate 8 to 10, boric acid 10 to 12, magnesium sulfate 80 to 100 kg per hectare. And the method will be you have to understand that magnesium is only for Rangpur, Dinajpur, Panchghat, Bogra, Nauga and Rajshahi, because in that region lack of magnesium in the soil. That is why you have to apply magnesium in this region. Method of application: half of urea and all other fertilizers should be given during last plowing. If you plow the land 5 times, that means, and when you plowing last plowing, that time you apply half urea. That means if you apply 180 kg at that time, 90 kg urea and all other fertilizer mixed with the land. Remaining urea should be divided into two parts. First part will be 20 to 25 days of seed germination, and last part should be given after 40 to 45 days of germination before flowering stage. During Rabi season, 2 to 3 times irrigation required, but normally irrigation not needed for Kharif season, because in Kharif season there will be lots of moisture in the weather. Care: excess seedlings should be removed from the field before applying first installment of urea, because when you apply two installments, that time before first installment you have to remove excess seedlings from the field. And weeding should be done. Earthing up, that means puts soil near the root zone and make the canal in the root zone for irrigation purpose. And this is another important topic, is honey box. We know that in the this is cross pollinated crop. That means if we ensure honey in the field, that time their pollination will be very easy and produce more flower and seeds. That is why if we honey box was set in the field during the flowering stage, then the production will be increased and extra income will be increased from the honey. So this is the byproduct as well. So you get extra honey and you get more production in the sunflower field. So this is very important for your MCQ and CQ question as well. That means what type of flower crop of sunflower, which is cross pollinated crop. Now I'll describe some disease and next insect as well. First disease is leaf spot. That means is causes by fungus. Whole leaf can be turned into black color. If you have a look the picture of sunflower leaf, the leaf here become blackish due to the attack of fungus, and then it will more or infected after severe condition. This is whole leaf will be rot. This is called leaf spot of sunflower, and it is caused by fungus. So for this disease, you have to apply fungicide in the field. Before that, you have to remove all type of spotted leaf from the field. Next one is foot rot disease. Here foot rot means the foot, that means the root zone is rotten and become and then it looks like the plant is according to the picture. And this is one is causes as well the fungus. White fiber like cotton can be found on the base of the plant. If you look the plant here, and this is the base of the plant, you can find white fiber like cotton here, but it's not clear, not more clear in this picture, but it can be observed here. And this is for this as well you have to apply the fungicide in the field. Next disease is wilt. This is the another fungal disease of sunflower. After infected the this disease, the plants looks like according to the picture is the maximum plant of this field after attacking this fungus is wilt. You have a look here, this one as well, looks like this, and can be controlled. This is by seed treatment. So if you, treat the seed before sowing the seed, then this disease might treat it. Now insect. If you have a look, this insect is called hairy caterpillar and can be found underneath the leaves. But in severe condition, this insect is spread in the whole field. It can be controlled by collecting them from the field or by using kerosene or diesel mixed water. That means when you go to the field, that time always observe the sunflower leaf underneath the leaf. If you found any type of caterpillar, then you pick it up with the field with the leaf and sink in deep inside the kerosene or diesel mixed water, or you can establish a bowl or in a tub inside the field, this type of mixed water that can be helpful for your or this insect. Now harvesting and drying. After maturity, 65 to 70 days seed sowing, you can collect the sunflower flower. This time birds attack in the field, especially parrot. During harvesting and leaves become yellow and seeds color into turn into black color. That time you can collect the flower, and yield might be depends according to the variety, but in general 1.5 to 1.8 ton per hectare and 16 to 20 mon per acre. Threshing. When you collect the flower, that means the inflorescence should be dried after 1 to 2 days after collecting. That means when you collect the flower, you have to dry it in the sun about 1 to 2 days. Then seed should be collected by using a bamboo stick, or if you, hit the flower or inflorescence with the bamboo stick slowly, then the seeds will be come out. About 40 to 40% oil can be collected from the seeds of sunflower, and we can collect about 25% of oil by local method, or in if you collect the by using electric machine, that time we can collect 30 to 35% oil. Nowadays the maximum farmer using the electric machine. Seed storage. When relative humidity of seed is 8 to 10%, then it should be stored. We need to dry the seeds for 4 to 5 days and 5 to 6 hours per day. Then we have to store the seed for next season. uh, uh, After this is the all about or brief description of sunflower, and from this section you can get lots of MCQ, which I already mentioned you, like disease name, then insect name, then disease causes, then variety name, this type of. And this is the example of one MCQ, which is what is the scientific name of sunflower, which is Helianthus anus. And this type of MCQ you can get in your exam as well. So remember, any type of crop production you have to memorize some point, which is scientific name, then variety name, then disease, and then insect. This point is very important. Very much, my dear students, for watching today's online lecture. If you got any problem, contact your subject teacher. They must help you. Thank you very much.